Now, the key to getting unstuck after a toxic relationship is to accept the reality that you were stuck prior to the toxic relationship. All the toxic relationship has done is dropped you off where you began, except in worse condition than when you started, because now not only are you stuck just like you were before the toxic relationship, but your hopes and your dreams and your image of your savior within that toxic relationship has also been shattered. But nonetheless, you're right back where you started. Now, if toxic relationships are about being with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going, which is a philosophy that I've developed for the Royal We, and there's a lot of truth to this. The question is, well, how did you get there? How did you start to get with people you have no business being with? What were you doing in places where you didn't belong? What were you doing things that you had no business doing? A lot of this comes down to a couple of things. Number one, not knowing yourself. Number two, not accepting yourself, your calling, your purpose, and your passions in life. This is the key to getting unstuck from toxic relationships and making sure that you never get in toxic relationships with narcissistically abusive people ever again. My name is Kevin, and this is the Royal We. Now, before I do continue with this very important message, I want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Down in the description box below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I do take telephone calls as well as video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. So if you're tired of getting in cycles of abusive relationships and you're in this place where you're ready to know who you are and what you're here for, so you don't have to grab onto the coattails of some abusive person who brings excitement into your life, head on down there, schedule some time with me. I would love the opportunity to speak with you. In addition to that, I do have a coaching program, and now my coaching program is live and in person each and every day. You'll be with me just like this in a community setting. We are going through a diary and a journal that's not only going to help you heal from narcissistic abuse, but it's going to help you to map out your 2024 so that you can start to live your life and accept yourself and stay out of abusive relationships with narcissistic people and with toxic people. Now, as I said before, the reason we get involved in toxic relationships typically comes from a place of being stuck. Anytime I coach people who have come out of an abusive relationship with a narcissistically abusive person and they feel stuck, I typically go back to the beginning and help them to understand that it was being stuck before you got into the relationship. That's the issue. Let's take the narcissistic person, let's take the toxic people, and let's put them aside for a moment. What was it that got you to gravitate towards those people? What was it that made that look so exciting for you to begin with? Let's look at your life while you're on your own. You see, the fact of the matter is when you're out of a toxic relationship, guess where you are? You're back by yourself. And I want to ask you a question right now. What's the worst part about getting out of an abusive relationship? Is it the fact that you no longer have them? Or is it that you are left with yourself again? Ooh, this is a difficult question, right? For many people, it's not that those narcissistic people are no longer in your life. Those people were mean and nasty and just using you anyways. The biggest issue that you're having is that you're back at square one alone. And this puts you in a place of not yet knowing and accepting and understanding what you're even here for. The hopes and the dreams that you had riding on the curtails of that exciting person that you met, well, that blew up. And so now you're back with just you. But what I want to help you to understand is that this is the most beautiful place that you can be in life if you're ready and if you're willing to accept it. Narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships, being with people you have no business being with, doing things you have no business doing, going places you have no business going, oftentimes comes from a lack of self-acceptance. And it's not because you need to find yourself. A lot of people want to go on self-discovery journeys. I've heard that. I'm going to go out and discover myself. I got to find myself. How many of you have been there? I want to hear you. I want to hear it down in the comment section down below. How many of you are on a find myself discovery journey? Listen, here's the problem. For those of you who are on a self-discovery, find myself journey, you're going to run into an issue. You ready? The issue is that wherever you go, there you are. Whatever mirror you look in, you're going to be looking right back at yourself. There is nothing else you're going to find that doesn't already exist. You are who you are. You've been who you've been. You're going to be who you still are. It's not about finding yourself. You don't need to find yourself. The real issue is accepting yourself. Accepting yourself. Everybody who's watching this video right now, say this with me. I need to accept myself. I need to accept everything about me. My goals, my plans, my purpose, my calling, my joy, my peace, what angers me, what upsets me, what I love, what I'm into, my love language, my affection language. I need to accept it. You see, self-acceptance is not something that we are ever really taught. This is what makes it so hard. A lot of you believe that you've accepted yourself, but you truly never have. You've ran from yourself. A lot of you are living in careers and chasing people and places and things that are toxic for you, not because you have accepted yourself, but because you haven't accepted yourself. And so as a result, you're chasing things, hoping to find something while running from yourself. But it's not your fault, because you were not taught to accept yourself. Society is not really built upon you accepting yourself. Society is built on you being like other people. Society is built upon you doing X, Y, and Z in this way. And so this is how we've constructed our lives. And you go to school and you get this education and you work this job, not because it's really who you are, but it's because you're told that's what you're supposed to do. And listen, don't get me wrong, society needs people like that, but society also needs visionaries. Society also needs people who step into self-acceptance, because that's what comes up with new ideas. You're starting something new. You're blazing a new trail. But I want to get back to this self-acceptance. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to have true self-acceptance. Listen, I still struggle with self-acceptance. I do. When I started the Royal We, listen, let me just say this. I'm a talker. I talk. This is what I do. I talk here on video. I talk during one-on-one coaching sessions. I also listen, of course. I'm here to help you on your particular path in life. But it's a struggle. It was a struggle for me to accept this, because when I was growing up, I didn't have people pay attention to me. I didn't have parents who were listening to me. I wasn't raised in an environment where I thought I had a voice that mattered. And so it's no wonder that when I started the Royal We and I started talking on these videos, people started listening, started getting subscribers. People wanted to talk with me and give me a call. And it's no wonder I was like, well, what do I do now? Now that I have these people listening, well, I better try and figure out how to make something interesting happen. So I went out and bought drones and I started putting music in the videos and trying to make movies out of this topic of narcissistic abuse. And if you go back to some of the old Royal We videos, you're going to see some weird stuff. Why was I doing all of that? A lot of it had to do with me running from who I am. It's from a place of a lack of self-acceptance. I'm talking. People just want to hear a message. I couldn't believe it. It ended up being the most simplest thing for me to try to understand, yet the most difficult. How many of you can understand that? Self-acceptance is taking what seems to be so simple, yet so difficult for us. Because it is simple and difficult. The simplicity is that you already know who you are. That's how simple it is. You don't have to reach. You don't have to dig. You don't have to go on some discovery journey. It's as simple as just saying, this is who I am. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to be authentic to myself. It's that simple. But it's difficult in that, is it okay? Am I good enough? I don't know. So it's difficult. And this is where you're stuck, is in this place. And this is why I encourage you, and this video is going to come back around to this point, I encourage you right now, in your time of isolation, in your time of solitude, in your time of being on your own, in this time of wondering if you need somebody else, are you going to find somebody else? Is somebody else going to save you? In this time, I encourage you, look around at your life. Forget about other people and who's in it. What are you doing? Are you satisfied with your job? Are you satisfied with your career? Are you satisfied with everything you're doing? Are you living out of the output of your life based on how you're made and being authentic? If not, no relationship will ever save you. They will always seem toxic because you're going to grab onto the curtails of something that seems more exciting, and then you're going to realize that you cannot grab onto it because it's nothing like you. You're hoping for something to save you and pull you out of this place. How about you fix this place first? Then you can properly judge others to determine whether or not they're going to be good for your life. The best relationships you're going to be involved in ever are relationships of being equally yoked, equally minded, commonality. You've judged them and you see that they are as consistent as you. They show up in the same manner that you show up. They are as persistent as you are. They're into the same things. You can do the same things together. Right? The key to getting unstuck is to figure out why you were stuck before you got into the relationship. That's the point of this video. I hope that this resonates with some of you. Like I said before, I am here to support you. Down in the description box below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. Telephone calls, video calls are available. If you're new to the Royal We, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button. And I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Royal We. Now, before I am back, I encourage you to watch one of these videos right up here. These videos are recommended by the YouTube algorithm, and so I believe they're going to be a good video for you. I look forward to being back right here for you. I'll be back. Bye.